Welcome back to Studio F1 Fast Times Willy B. We're reviewing The Accountant. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I've got Kory back with me. Kory, how we doing?
All right.
So today, we'll be stepping back to not 19.
No,
sorry, I'm
certainly
so
not.
used to these throwbacks.
Yeah.
To 2016.
2016. Yeah.
And we'll be doing the original Accountant before The Accountant 2 comes out this weekend. So, gonna talk about the one that started it all as we get a sequel coming this weekend. Gavin O'Connor, the director of both movies. As far as other films, Warriors is the one on the list we both recognized. Cast-wise, we've got some pretty heavy hitters. We've got Ben Affleck, we've got John Bernthal, we've got John Lithgow, we've got J.K. Simmons, we got Anna Kendrick. I mean, that's a pretty big five right there.
It's pretty big in there. Oh my God, there's one other person in it. I can't remember who it was. It's John Lithgow's sister in it.
I don't know who the...
Yeah, I'm talking. Maybe she's not the sister. I don't. She works on the. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
matter. It doesn't matter. She's in the show Watchmen, and she's really good. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm missing her name right now.
Those are the big five, though.
Yes.
But we'll start with the good. And I was actually surprised at how much I liked this movie.
Yeah, me too.
This was a movie that I didn't see when it came out. I would have been about 17 when it came out. It didn't really pique my interest. But in honor of it coming out, I was like, all right, we'll give it a try. And I immediately said to you, I was like, I enjoyed that movie quite a bit.
I heard it was good, especially my buddy Austin. I feel like I've heard him tell me that it's a pretty good movie a few times, but I just never... Usually, like, the spy thriller kind of genre thing, I usually skip over most of those. Like, I didn't see Black Bag or The Amateur. Like, it's just usually not my...
Black Bag was great.
You know, not that it's not my cup of tea, it's just... Like, I rarely ever watch one and have a bad time. I always have a good time. It's just, like, nothing that excites me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, this was one that, I mean, I just never really had high on my watch list. But I will say after watching, I am more excited now for The Accountant, too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Because it's been... almost a decade since the last one came, which
Yeah.
I didn't realize, by the way. That's a long time to make a sequel to a movie like this.
Yeah, it's like the only movie I can think of that did it longer was Gladiator.
Yeah, that's true. But even then, that makes sense because that's like a classic. Like
it's taking down to the next generation. This one's like same characters.
10 years.
We're
apart.
getting we're getting why can't I think of Chris Wolf. We're getting Chris and Brax back together, which I'm pretty excited for.
Yeah.
That twist was pretty cool. You unfortunately knew about it because
the trailers for The Accountant too, which are my fault. It's been out for 9 years.
I didn't look into the trailers like that because, again, The Accountant 2 wasn't one I really paid attention to just like this one. And so when I was watching, I didn't really connect the dots. And then when it got to that scene, I was like, word?
Yeah.
They're brothers. I mean, it makes sense when you really think about it.
I wish I didn't know.
But so that was cool. It's a fun story too. It's your
it's fun.
Well, you know what I mean though. Like it's
Yes.
easy to follow along.
Yeah.
It is enjoyable and it all makes sense for the most part.
It's definitely like the best way I can describe it is like it feels like that weekend that you spend at your dad's and you're a teenager and it's just you have a movie night on a Friday. It feels like the perfect movie for like that kind of thing.
I saw a lot of reviews on this that said this is the perfect dad movie. Like,
really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, like just show this to your dad. He'll enjoy it.
Oh, my grandpa would think it's the greatest movie ever made, probably.
Oh, yeah. My dad would love this for sure.
Reasonably so.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I mean, obviously, cast-wise, we got a bunch of stellar performances. You know what you're going to get from these guys.
Yeah,
Ben
absolutely.
Affleck's one of the best to do it. Anna Kendrick's great. J.K. Simmons is an Oscar winner. John Bernthal is always great when it comes to thrillers and action.
Yeah.
And, I mean, John Lithgow. We both love John Lithgow.
I love John Lithgow.
We do.
I love him so much. I love him from the Pet Sematary reboot.
Yeah. I love him from Harry and the Hendersons as a young lad.
Shrek.
Yeah, and that, he's been in my life for a long time.
I'm kind of jealous for the future generations that are about to get him for Dumbledore.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say that I'm excited to see his Dumbledore too. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting. But I did like him in the Pet Sematary remake though. I'll give it that. I didn't love that movie as much as you did, but I like him.
Yeah. It's the best part about Interstellar.
There you go.
You didn't know he was in it, did you?
No.
I could tell by the way you looked at me just now.
But yeah, the cast was fantastic. I really like Ben Affleck a lot in this one. I'm not saying it's his greatest role ever, but like, I like seeing the grounded, autistic Ben Affleck. Like he's playing, you know what I mean? Though, like he's playing
reasonably,
an adult, and like the scenes when he's in his room and he's doing like the high sensory stuff. Like I thought that stuff was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, usually you don't see Ben Affleck do this kind of thing. I mean, usually he's just playing like a chill dude, or he always plays like dudes.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to see him play somebody with a little more, I don't know, someone that's a little more picky and cleaned up and whatever. I thought he was great. Yeah, honestly,
I did too.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a good job too, like with his relationships, like him and Anna Kendrick. They never really get to, because of his autism, and so I thought everything he did to show how autism affected him even as an adult was really good. Because the beginning, the beginning's heavy.
Yeah.
When he's like struggling with the last puzzle piece, and which another connection that you get full circle there that I liked.
I think in general, I mean, the movie, it does fall into that trap of like autism's a superpower kind of thing, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. It can be kind of a trope, I guess. But I mean, I think they did a pretty good job. It seems like there's a lot of love for the the mental spectrum in this movie. You could tell definitely somebody felt passionate about awareness for that. So I think that's
especially with all the
great.
Money he makes, he donates back to the harbor.
Harbor
resources.
Right.
No, I thought it was cool too, because like he's kind of this savant-esque like Rain Man, and he uses it in accounting, and you also have his soldier father who taught him everything he needs to know on that side of things. So he basically is a super soldier. He's as smart as you can get when it comes to numbers. I mean, he solved 15 years of stuff in one night, and then he's also just a kick-ass dude that can shoot you from a mile away, right in between the eyes.
I appreciate that you see that he has a kindness to him, but because he's autistic. I mean, there's a like it's not traditional in the way that you would think, but like the moment where he helps the the farmers out, and then he's like, oh, like, you mean your work truck, we're going to use that as a deductible, like helping them with their taxes.
I need him to help me do my taxes,
right? And then after he kills those dudes, he's just like it just gives them a wave.
That scene is awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was cool.
That's a really good scene.
It's a fascinating take on a person, I think.
And for a character that really doesn't like get emotional or show much, he is very lovable. Like, there's root for him the entire movie.
And even though you're like, he's not great, is he? Like, he does like bad things. He launders for cartels and shit like that. But like, he still has a moral code. They talk about that in the movie, and there's like subtlety in it. Like the scene that he has with John Bernthal at the end. Like, there's a lot of subtle act in the way that's like he's trying to say like, I missed you and whatever. But he again, he doesn't. It's just not how he does. But
I love the final showdown where we get the brother fight, and then do you know what I'm saying? I do.
Bam! I love that ending. Just
beautiful.
Just didn't even think about it.
And then that's when we get a lot of the connections to, like, with Justine and the harbor and all of that. So a lot of full circles.
Yeah.
In this that I liked.
It's fascinating, yeah. I also applaud them for not just going, like, it's easy to go, well, this dude's autistic when he's a kid, so he just is going to grow up to, like, slap his head all the time and whatever. Like, he grows out of some of that stuff. Or at least you can tell he had been through the system. He knows how to cope with it. He knows how to...
And I think that's what he does with the sensory overload stuff, and then he has his meds as well. So, like, you still see he has battles with it.
Yeah,
Because that one
absolutely.
night when he kind of crashes out, you can see that it got the best of him.
Uh-huh.
And you see it, too, when he gets let go by John Lithgow.
Yeah, and he's
or
like, I
Lamar.
have to finish it.
He's
Yeah.
like, I didn't finish.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was cool. Like, it all makes sense.
There's some growth there, yeah.
It's not like your most, intellect,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to shatter the earth type of story, but it's a good one. It's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else that good?
It had a good score.
Yeah.
I Shazammed a couple moments.
Yeah.
There. I should.
Kory Shazam, and it's a good one.
Oh yeah. You should see me Shazamming on a movie that has a good score.
Yeah.
It's frustrating for the people around me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had a couple moments. For like these kind of movies, it's pretty easy to just fall in very stereotypical scores for this kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And there were some pretty like some emotional tracks on there.
Yeah. A scene that just popped in my head that I really liked is the scene after the night where he figures out everything. When John Berthal goes and visits, or Brax, I should say,
Yeah.
goes and visits his best friend, Lamar's best friend, and he slides him the insulin, and he like just charismatically basically tells this guy to off himself.
Yeah.
But then he's like, he gets deep with it too. He's like, or we're gonna have to kill both you guys, and then we're gonna have to frame it as this.
Yeah,
and like,
says some
and
shit
like,
about his wife, and
Yeah.
then he's like, whoa, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, like
That was.
I thought that was some of the comedy in the movie right there.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that full circle twist at the end with, that informant that he's talking to being the woman that's, the daughter of the guy running the center or whatever. That genuinely caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
Which I figured it out, like, not way too late. I figured out probably when you're supposed to, but as soon as, you said something about, like, that computer's, like, really high tech for something, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very fascinating take. I'm so glad it didn't turn out that Anna Kendrick was that girl.
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought it was going that direction. I was like, that doesn't. Okay.
We get a little bittersweet ending too with Anna Kendrick. With
The painting.
They don't ever confess love for each other, but she gets a little gift there at the end with the painting.
Yeah. You could. I mean, that's just his way.
Yeah.
That's just his way of life, honestly, with the job he has and the condition he has.
Yeah, for sure.
Things get left unsaid sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else in the good?
I'm gonna say costuming.
Yeah.
Which is something I usually don't shout out, but I think, like, I don't know, for some reason Ben Affleck's outfits were hidden. I think
Yeah.
in the fact that they were all the same thing. But I specifically am shouting out costuming because the moment where Ben Affleck starts following John Bernthal and, John Bernthal pulls out the pistol and shoots at him, whatever, I don't know what, like, coat and shit they got him, but I seriously sat there being like, he better have, like, kept that or, like, bought one in real life.
Yeah.
Because that's a damn good look on him.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped thinking about that outfit, dude. That outfit was so... I was like, I should get one of those.
Kory wants to go back to the 2017 Oscars and give this best costume.
I do.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, we can hop over to the Mad then.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say the pacing.
I agreed.
The first third to half of this movie is pretty slow.
It's definitely like, where is this going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we get to basically the night where he solves the 15 years,
Yeah.
from there on out,
Mhm.
because right after that we get the insulin scene,
Mhm.
and then we get the attempted murder of him, and then
And
Anna
her,
Kendrick,
yeah.
and then from there it's pretty fun. You're
for
locked
sure,
in.
For sure. Good action. We
Yeah.
should have threw that in there. There was pretty good action on it.
Yeah, I would probably put. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily an action movie,
Mm-hmm.
but there isn't a lot of fight choreography like I thought there
That's
would be.
what I was thinking of.
There's a lot of gun,
Yeah.
but like the only two fights I can really think of are when he's saving her in the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and then the brothers.
Then there's also hand to hands.
Yeah,
One of those dudes, like
Yep,
with
that's
in
true.
the farm, but which still isn't a whole lot.
yeah,
But also, for some reason, I was really fucking with the direction that they had with John Bernthal when he beat that guy up in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
that's fair.
Just like bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam.
Yeah.
Just
I wouldn't say it was like I'm not putting choreography in the Med because it was bad or anything. I'm more so putting it there for the lack of.
Yeah,
I thought there'd be more.
Yeah, so did I.
And I guess that's my expectations, but
Well, halfway through it, I was like, this is like not it's an action movie. I was like, but it's not really an action
No, it's
movie.
more of a crime thriller.
Yeah, which just shocked me. I was very confused about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought anything else I'd put in the man? I do not like that scene where okay, I guess it belongs in the meh though. The scene where he crashes out. Okay. I don't love it.
No?
Only because maybe it was Ben Affleck's acting or something, but whenever he's like hitting his leg, something about it, I was like, I'm not feeling this.
No?
Maybe it doesn't even mean it's inaccurate, but I was just like, something about this, it just isn't it for me.
That's fair. No. That's fair. I don't think I have anything in the bad.
Nah, I wouldn't say I have anything in the bad either.
No. I'm trying to think if I have anything else in the meh. I might not. I mean, there's not much to complain about.
It's actually decently solid. And also, that also comes with the expectation of what kind of movie you're watching.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to judge a Martin Scorsese film the same way I'm going to judge a Pooniverse movie.
No, that's fair, too. Yeah.
So.
But we can hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with The Accountant? What do you give it out of 10?
I mean, all in general, I think The Accountant's a movie worth your time. It makes a good Friday night family popcorn movie night.
Yeah.
Kind of movie. I think everyone's pretty damn good in it.
Yeah.
I think it has very solid direction in it. I think it's just a fun time.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna leave that with like a. Are we allowed to do points? Like
whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna do a 7.5.
Okay. That's probably where this movie belongs.
But you don't do
But
house.
since I'm sticking to the 10-point scale this year, and hopefully forever, but you know me, I always switch things up. But in sticking to it right now in my life, I'd probably lean 7. So I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of fun with it, a lot more fun than I thought I would. But there were some things. It's one of those movies that you've seen before in a way. It's not a crime thriller that really sets itself apart from the crowd. Yeah. I'm not saying it's forgettable because this is probably one I would revisit down the line. If it's one of those movies I'd probably have to be in the mood for. Sure, or like you said, maybe me and my dad want to watch a movie. It's something I'd recommend there.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's forgettable, but it does definitely feel like a movie that you've seen the formula for it before.
It's not the kind of movie that I feel like will stick with you.
Yeah. It's not a Sinners.
Oh.
And speaking, no, I'm kidding.
I was thinking of Sinners when I said that.
But no, it's still a very serviceable film, and definitely had me locked in more than I expected. And like I said, it's got me even more excited for The Accountant too. So
yeah, I'm now kind of looking forward to that, which I wasn't until today.
Exactly. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully it can continue into a second good installment. Or maybe we'll have the David Ayer, Jason Statham effect on it, and we go from a movie that was like wow to one that you just stepped out on because of my word.
Yeah, I was like, wow, we need to see more of this, and I was like, we
don't.
Apparently, we don't.
No, but we'll see. I'm excited. That'll do it for The Accountant. Kory, thank you for coming on.
Always.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. As always, it's all appreciated. We'll talk to y'all very soon. Peace.
Bye.